Declan McKenna is back with third album. What happened to the beach? The age-old question.
Wobble.
What was it released on? What was it released on, Carl?
I don't know, Yanni. I've not done that research. It was released on Sony Music Entertainment UK Limited, which surprises me. I don't know why. We are somewhat fans of Declan McKenna. I'd say we all
Great
loved
way to
Zeros.
describe it.
No, but I don't know your opinion on what you think about the car. What do you think about the car?
Yeah, it's all right.
There we go. That's why I said somewhat fans, because you're indifferent. So why question it then? You were the one I was aiming that at.
Who's talking about you?
Yeah. And he's back. A very different album. He did a little Ask Me Questions thing on X.
AMA.
Yeah, but it wasn't that, so I didn't want to. It was on
You
X,
didn't want to include that second day.
not Reddit. Absolutely. A little album party, and he said that he wanted to just completely change it up. He thought Zeros was so full that he wanted this one to be a bit more personal and
empty.
Empty, yeah, and that is kind of what's happened. I admire him for wanting to completely change. However, probably not the best of directions, because going from Zeros, which was so fucking good, to this is a bit of a risk. And although the singles I've liked, there are a couple album tracks that are okay. There are a lot that just kind of pass me by, and maybe that'll come with time. But I think it's, in the words of Justin from the Vaccines, who thinks this about his second album, which arguably the best, it's a little slight creative misstep. I don't know. I think it's a very niche genre, and Declan McKenna is incredibly, he's very famous and gets a lot of numbers, but he doesn't do big, massive gigs. Do you know what I mean? He's got a lot of internet fans, and I don't really think that this album is going to change that.
No,
it's very niche. No. It's very.
Yeah, he's not going to break the mainstream of this, is he?
No, because there's probably poppier elements. That was hard to say. Poppier elements, but it's just a slight bit too weird to probably grab people who are don't already know who he is.
Normies,
yeah.
Yeah, it's I've only listened to it through the once today, and I will preface that I listened to it through an Echo Dot.
A what? Sorry,
an Echo Dot.
I'm here all week.
You got him there. You actually got him.
Well done, Carl.
Jurassic Park. Thanks, mate.
So I think it overplayed this element a bit more because I was listening to it through that, but too much of it for me sounded like demos. But the stylistic choices, it sounds like he's playing it recording it on a phone. But it happened multiple times, and I was like, okay, it's not really massively playing out for me. I was definitely more intrigued to certain parts than I originally considered I would be from the singles. It kind of makes me want to listen again, but I feel like what I'm going to do is listen again and be like, oh yeah, it's not great. I don't feel like I'm gonna really achieve that much from it. Which is a shame because I really love Zeros. I very much enjoy the first album, and yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to be like he's made a bad choice because he's done it fairly well. I suppose it's just not the right choice for me personally.
I think you've hit that nail smack bang on the bonce.
For me, there's just, I'm going to interrupt you, Carl, because I haven't spoken so far. There's just too much of it in one go. It's all passing me by pleasantly, I might add. Yeah. But there's just too much of it. I think I'd prefer this if there was just maybe a couple of EPs of this, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe even, just get rid of a couple of songs and then just, release an EP or 2 EPs, whatever. Because I do like some of the choices that are made.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, there's something feels bad calling it like demo-y, but like there is a kind of demo-y vibe about the whole thing, but it also sounds refined. So it's a bit weird to like everything's well recorded in a sense, or intentionally recorded and sounds
Yeah.
the way it does. But yeah, I can't latch onto anything, but I'm not turned off by it.
Yeah, I think you're bob on there. The last four songs, I like Honest Test, but Mezzanine is an act. 4 more years. I've listened to this album numerous times, and honestly, I don't know what they are. You know what I mean? It just at that point it has completely passed me by.
Yeah, 4 more years is nothing. Even it's
Mm.
just a pointless way to end the album, to be honest.
Yeah. Elevator Hum, which was the third single. I've really started to like that over the last, well, since this album was released. I think that's a very good song. But if that was the quality of the album tracks, this album would be brilliant. But when that's one of the, well, it shouldn't be a single, I don't think. Which I don't know. I want to like it, and I feel like my enjoyment of Declan's other albums is kind of making me look a bit more positively on the matter. I don't know. Sympathy, I didn't really click with when that came out. I don't really care about that, but it is one of the better songs on the album. Nothing Works is probably my favorite, but kind of sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
I feel like if we'd have had like an album of that in between Zeros and this, maybe a bit of a nicer transition. But I mean, he wasn't going for a transition, was he? He made the choice to do this. So
I feel like though, like he made the choice with My House. That
Yeah.
felt very different to Zeros, and then he's kind of tried to expand on that in the wrong direction. I think he just needed an album, My House, because that was a great tune. There was a very good kind of, it was very him. It was very reminiscent of both the first two albums, but still very different. A lot more laid back. And I feel like he's just kind of, it's kind of finger and all pie situation, but Jack of all trades, but master of none, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like none of it really, really lands. It's just
that's gonna be the.
It's a lot of words out there.
Just Jack of all trades.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Carl.
Yeah, there's nothing in this album that's making me want to rush to put it back on. I think it's going to be a case of I'll add the odd song to my playlist and probably never come back to it. I was quite sad I didn't pre-order it. I wanted the signed version. I'm not going to buy it, and I'm glad I saved my money. Which is quite a sad scenario, but the truth.
Been a lot of those this year.
Yeah.
A lot of bands. I keep thinking about like, I've got the second album from this artist and not the new one, or I've got like their first 3 albums, not this one. It's kind of a weird one. It's happened a few times.
We will rate this, or are we not going to do that? Because I don't know if I really have the ability to be able to do
Carl,
that.
I think it'd be you, if anyone.
I'd probably give it a 6 if I was to rate it, but I wouldn't hold that as gospel.
That feels like a number that I'd also give.
Yeah, I feel like that's just plucking a number out because it's perfectly pleasant, but it's just kind of not what I want.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, and that's probably on me. But yeah.
Yeah, thanks for listening to the review. We hope you have a lovely day whenever you watch this.
Please do.
Goodbye.
Hasta.